everyone, welcome to another Anime Kingdom review. See by the title below, yes, is on episode 2 of SAO Alternative Gale Online. And yes, I've been pretty excited to see how this episode was going to go, considering, I said in the first episode, I thought it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I loved the whole, Gale Online, the premise of the entire thing, and actually having guns being used in it, unlike, how the third arc, pretty much for the Gale arc, went with Kirito. It was pretty much just him with his lightsaber just going straight through everyone, blocking all the bullets. And sure, that's pretty damn awesome, but I've always wanted to see how Gale Online is, with actual guns against guns, with some strategy and tactics and everything, considering the fact that I am a huge shooter fan when it comes to games. I love the shooter genre, first person or third person, and recently, of course, everyone's been into it and everything with Fortnite and PUBG, the whole battle royale genre as well, and that's pretty much everything that we saw in the first episode. All of that was awesome. The one thing that, of course, I talked about and I want to see, more of in these coming episodes was if we would get more information on not only our main character in Lin, but also what the whole story, the main story plot is for this entire series, because from the first episode, you don't really get much of that. You get some cool strategy and tactics, you get some cool action and everything, but you don't really get to see much development on, and introducing of who the character is. We get to, her name is Lin, she has a P90, she's super fast and everything, like superhuman kind of fast, and that was about it for our main character. And then, like I told you, at the very end of the episode, it looked like it was a bunch of girls and everything, and they were watching, from what I assumed, was old clips of the current Lin and everything like that. And that's why I expected this episode to be more of like a past of how she got to that point that we saw in the first episode, and that is exactly what we ended up getting. Overall, I'm still not the biggest fan of Lin, but I did enjoy finally learning more about her character. We saw at the very beginning, she just moved to Tokyo and everything, and she's the kind of, I guess, antisocial. She doesn't really have a lot of friends and everything. She literally says that she thought things would change when she goes to Tokyo, but ended up not. And we see, at first, she was like saying stuff about, like the one of the things that I talked about in the first one was like, why on earth, when we first saw the introduction of Karen at the very end of the episode, Lin, her avatar, looks nothing like her. And I always thought and assumed that from pretty much, because Kirito, Asuna, all of them pretty much look exactly like how they are in real life, except for the fact that they changed a little bit. It's like in Elf film, they have like elf ears and stuff like that, but of course it is the whole thing with, obviously Kirito ended up being a girl in Gale Online, so yes, your avatar is of course random, which is why I kind of assumed too when I actually thought about it, like Leafa, she doesn't have blonde hair, she doesn't look exactly like how she looks in the real world, Suguha and everything as well. So it makes sense. Even though I can definitely say Suguha does look like Leafa a lot, and so does Kirito. He does look like his girl version of Gale, just with a girl version. But of course, Karen's character is like completely different and everything, but this is her dream. This is what she wants. We finally get to see why she's so short and everything, and why she has these pink colors, because that's her, pretty much her favorite kind of thing. She's always wanted to be short and cute. We see that as she's in the real world and everything, and she even like whacks straight into a sign. And at first I was like, she's not that tall, is she? And then of course she goes into the game store and the guy's like over here and she's like all the way up here, and I'm like, oh, okay, she is pretty damn tall then, I guess. Holy shit. And yeah, she has that's one of her problems she really does not like. And it was pretty funny, honestly. We got to see her go into Alpha and a couple other games, and she's like, at first when she goes into Alpha, she's like, why am I so tall? And her heart rate goes so fast that it takes her out of the game. I was like, oh, okay, holy shit. And I'm wondering if too, how she does have that one friend that introduced her to all of this. I wonder if we're gonna see her, if she's one of the main characters as well. Don't know as of yet, but we know that at the very end of this episode it showed the whole thing with the squad jam. It's the start of what we're gonna see of what's what Karen is gonna learn about squad jam. So I'm definitely excited to see actual, like, we got to see some action in here. We got to see pretty much her going to every single world, finally finding her character and everything, her super short Lynn character, and going through the tutorial was actually pretty hilarious to see her getting completely scared because of the instructor. It was just crazy. And I gotta say, if I went into the virtual world and that was my instructor, I'd be like, oh, yeah, the creators of this game was definitely guys, that's for sure, with how the tutorial instructor is, but other than that, it showed her going through a different amount of guns, and obviously showing that she's good with submachine gun, to which we already know because we saw at the very beginning with her P90. And she ends up going from the start of just doing PvE stuff, and then of course she gets the first taste of what PvP is. And I mean, that's kind of how, like, it's realistic, honestly. That's how it is for a lot of people. A lot of people start off as PvP, PvE first, and that's for me as well. Like, I will play a game and I'll be like, yeah, PvE, this is fun, but like, I start to get a little bored of the PvE, and then of course you play the PvP aspect and you're like, yeah, I want to kick ass, I want to attack some of these people. This isn't, the original SAO, no one's gonna die in real life kind of thing. So PvP is actually fine and okay to do in these kind of games. And of course she gets the first taste of it, she ends up liking it, and she ends up just going off on a tear and starts killing people in the desert so much that it turns out it ends up being the fact that they even give her a nickname of the Pink Devil. She's so fast, she's so short, they can't see her. By the time they see her, they don't see her face, they're just gone. And I was like, damn, that's pretty crazy. Especially, they're like, oh yeah, she uses camouflage, and we see this before when she turns her whole outfit to pink, and I'm over here like, wait, camouflage? I don't even, pink, no matter where you are, is not going to camouflage you anywhere, including the desert. There's no camouflage in what she is wearing. I don't know what you guys are, like, if these guys are all colorblind or something, but pink is not going to hide you. Definitely not in the desert. So I had no idea what was going on there, but of course, it was just overall interesting to see the development of her character from the very beginning. We get to see her kind of why she ended up choosing to play the game, and of course how she ended up in the game and how she ended up getting to PvP, and of course one of the first people I checked on my anime list that is the main character, and that is Pito. She's pretty interesting. I'm not too sure on everything that is going to be happening with her. We don't know the full specifics of her character. We just know that she's like a rich girl that loves to just she's rich in the game, and she likes to keep trying new guns every single time. She doesn't keep to one gun like obviously we saw with Peach-on and everything, when Lynn finally was able to find her gun, the P90 and everything in this episode. But yeah, the very ending, of course, was the whole introduction of Squad Jam. So I'm definitely excited to see that. Maybe not, because obviously she is with just one guy in the very first episode. Maybe it'll just be her and Pito. But there is a possibility that we will see more characters, because there are other main girls that will be in her squad as well later in the future, so I can't wait to see that. And I'm also wondering, like, when along the way she's gonna meet this guy, and like this huge dude was just kind of random in the first episode. And it's kind of weird because, like, I'm wondering how far in the past this episode actually is, because even when she's in the first episode, she still kind of doesn't have a lot of strategy and confidence, but it seems like she would have a lot more after a lot more squad jams and everything, so I'm not too sure on the specifics there and everything, but I'm definitely excited to see how these next couple episodes will go. Like I said, first episode, loved it. Second episode, while I may not like completely love her character, we finally got some introduction on her, and of course kind of what the story and plot is going to be, which was pretty interesting and pretty awesome to finally learn more about her. So yeah, I can't wait to see how the next episodes will go. Hope you guys enjoyed this Anime Kingdom review. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. If there's anything missing you want to talk about, comment below as well. And if you did enjoy it, if you haven't already, feel free to subscribe for more content. As always, guys, I want to hear your guys' thoughts. Anime watchers only, how did you feel about this episode? Source material readers, how did you feel about this episode? And yeah, just feel free to comment below what do you guys want to think. It's always awesome to hear your guys' thoughts after you heard mine. I always just love to kind of see what other people are thinking as well. So yeah, don't feel free to go ahead and comment below. And that's all I gotta say, guys. So till next time, see ya.